Welcome to Fit Women for Life video, and today we're going to go over the 7 key checkpoints of the perfect squat for women. So I'm going to work out with Chrissy here today. We're going to do some squats and show you what points in the body you need to make sure you're identifying so you're working the right muscles and you're preventing injury. Okay, so I'm going to have her just do a couple of squats here at this angle. Good. So let's go kind of good pace. Good. Driving through the heels. Awesome job. So the first key checkpoint on the squat, we're going to start from the head to the toes, are the chest and shoulders. So we're going to, one more squat here, good. So relax. And so we want to make sure that our chest is kind of engaged up, and that will engage our core. And we want to make sure our shoulders are backing down because we don't want to have a lot of rounding of the shoulders during this squat. So let's go ahead and do one squat here to observe the chest and the shoulders. She's picking her arms up, which helps keep the shoulders back. And so keeping those arms up, you want to keep these shoulders down and back. Good. Driving the arms up really helps with that. So that's the first key checkpoint, your chest and your shoulders. Chest up, shoulders backing down. Second key checkpoint here, going from the head to the toes, is the hips. This is probably the most important checkpoint of the squat because our squat motion will start at the hips. So go ahead and get a good drive with the hips. Perfect. So notice how driving back with the hips really keeps her knees from going forward. She stays in that one position, hips go back. So remember that as your key point for the squat is our hips are starting the motion here. So that's our second checkpoint. Third checkpoint is our lower back and our core. Okay, so if you start at the top and your shoulders are back and your hips go back, more than likely you're going to engage your core and protect your low back. So let's do one squat here. Go ahead and stay in this position. Yeah, stay for a second or two. There we go. So we're going to keep a good straight neutral spine here. Notice how the hips are back and the core is engaged. Come up and relax. Good job. So the next key checkpoint, we're going to go straight to the feet and our stance. So she has a pretty straight stance with the toes pointed forward. Let's go ahead and do one facing the camera here so they can see a good stance. So she's about shoulder width apart here. You can on this squat have your feet slightly rotated out, just not too wide. There we go. This will sometimes help keep your weight through your heels. Good job. Let's do a couple here. So notice how the feet are just slightly rotated out to the side. That's no problem there. Still keeping all the key checkpoints in good working order. Perfect. So that's key checkpoint number 4. We're going to go ahead and switch angles to the pointed to the right now. Our 5th key checkpoint is our depth. So this is making sure after you have addressed the 4 movement checkpoints that our squats are going down low enough. So let's go ahead and hold this position right here. Notice how the bottom of her thighs are near parallel with the ground. That ensures that she's engaging the right muscles, working the glutes, working the hamstrings, the quads, a lot of different muscles. Come up and relax. Good job. So you want to make sure on the squats to get as close to parallel as you can. If you're just beginning to do these, you can use some stabilizing equipment, just like a wall, to help really get a feel for driving those hips back, and keeping that stabilized equipment will help just keep you secure up there. Okay, so that's number 5. Key checkpoint number 6 is your drive. So working through all the checkpoints, you'll more than likely be keeping your weight through your heels, but you always want to make sure and drive your weight through your heels. So let's get a good hips back, all her weight going through the heels. So you want to make sure while you're doing these, if your heels aren't coming off the ground, you want to even slightly bring your toes up to really make sure that everything's driving back. That's if you need to. If you have a lot of muscle imbalances, you're more than likely going to have to take some aggressive approaches to keep the squat perfect. Okay, so lifting the toes will help with that. Our last key checkpoint is number 7, and that is our breathing. So we want to in through the nose breath as we go down, and then as we power up, we're breathing out. In through the nose, big out breath. 2 more here. In through the nose, big out breath. So if we have weight, this helps. Our breathing will help lift the weight. It will help keep everything engaged, especially the core. If our breathing's faulty, a lot of times we're rounding our shoulders and we're not keeping our belly button engaged with our core. Okay, so just to run through again, key checkpoints, chest and shoulders, big chest, shoulders backing down. Our hips are leading with the movement, so our hips are going back first. Low back and core, core is engaged, low back is straight, neutral with your spine. Number 4, our feet in our stance is either straight on or slightly rotated out to the side. Number 5, our depth. You want to make sure you get to that 90-degree parallel with the ground mark. Number 6 is our drive. One of the most important things is we're keeping our hips back, we're driving our weight through our heels. Last one is our breathing. As you go down to the squat, you're breathing in through your nose. As you come up, you're bringing it out through your mouth. Alright y'all, make sure you go through these 7 key checkpoints if you're just starting out your squats or to fine tune them. Alright, so I'll see you for the next video.